Okay, good morning everyone, and today topic would be fletching of Manchu arrows, and it's been some talks about it lately, so I promised to do one video. So what we got here is basically just a Home Depot dowel. I'm using it for practicing, and it's crooked as you see, but that's beyond the point. So first thing I did is I soak up the feather in a water, in a little towel. So first things first, we got our wet cloth, we got our dry cloth, because we have to clean the fingers more than periodically. We have a little bottle of fish glue. That's a violin maker's glue from Lee Valley. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna decide where we're gonna put the feather. I cut the dummy knock just to get proper orientation, and we'll go from there. So, okay, cock feather gonna be perpendicular to what I did to the knock. So what I'm gonna do is use a brush and do a thin coat of hide glue. I had to switch the lights off so you can see. That means I don't see much. So basically thin coat. Remember, this is water-based glue. It's made of cod. It's, I believe, made in Newfoundland, Canada. So let's make sure I'm doing this right. Whatever I mess up, I can always clean it up at some later point. I'm gonna make sure at the back, because the stem is thinnest, I'm gonna put liberal coat. Okay. And I'll put more than I need, just in case. Okay. And also what I got, it's a little cup with the water, because we won't keep everything wet. Now back to my, I always keep closing these things, because if you drop it, you're gonna make a mess. Here's our moist feather. I found it easier to work with. It is just me. I don't think there's a good way or bad way. It's just what the people like. I use it's not really a ruler, it's basically a piece of brass that I'm using for something else. So I'll use this to trim down feather, because it's easier to work if it's shorter. And this sort of a knife. Doesn't have to be perfect, we're gonna trim them eventually. And that would be that. Feathers, I use wild turkey feathers, because they're the longest one for this type of application. So where I get them, don't ask, you can buy them from me. I get them from hunters, friends, and basically that would be that. So I'm gonna use a brush again to apply fairly thin coat. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I can barely see. So I'm just holding in a hand. I'm sure if you use 2 of these and some paper clamps, that could help. I'll experiment on that and perhaps make a video on that as well. But for now, I'll do what I'm comfortable with. Not really comfortable, but it does the job. So you can fast forward this part if it's boring, but that's what it is when you do fletching. It's not really exciting job to begin with. Just make sure you got a lot of patience. I hope this is good enough. Oh yeah, I think it's good. I have to check it with the lights. So at this point, got my arrow. I sort of decided where it's gonna go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put it by hand at first. And just gently put it the way this is done. Ooh, it's running away. This is the part when we're using our wet and dry cloth. So at this point, I hope you can see, I have to look from this side. Okay, that's here, here, here. I think I should have the camera on the other side, but here we are. So basically it stays. Now I have to decide where exactly it's going to be. Obviously I'm way off, but this is not a major problem because I can still move it. You still got a couple of minutes of time. It's still easy to peel it off and reapply it because you want a little bit to a stretch, otherwise feather will make bridges or bubbles or whatever you're gonna call them. You don't want to hear my name for it. So okay, here we are. Looks straight, but it is not perfectly straight. So we can use a nail. I hope you can see. Use a nail. We put it in position we want it to be. It is kind of going crooked on me. That's what's confusing me. Sorry, I have to look against the light. I hope you can see a bit better. Of course, you have to periodically check where you're heading and what you're doing. But basically, this would be idea. Having a bit longer nails obviously helps a lot. And now we can imagine that we have third feather somewhere here. They're gonna curl away. Remember, these are natural feathers. Yeah, this guy's still doing his own thing. So I'm gonna point it towards you. It is fairly straight, if you ask me. Front part tends to do this, whatever we can call that. But once we trim it, it won't be much of a problem. So I'm gonna leave it as is for now. Leave it to dry a bit. Of course, wet cloth, dry cloth. Trimming, we can do it later. Right now, some of them, they don't look really presentable. You can see the splits and whatnot because they're wet. So at that point, what you have to do is use a tea kettle and basically steam them out. Proper way for Manchu war arrows would be to use a silk string, wrap it around like English arrows, and then steam it up, do final adjustments, and leave the string there. So that is sort of idiot proof. Cutting, we'll do that sometimes later, and it's gonna be sort of like this, which is fairly easy to do. You can have a jig that I did for myself, and it's basically plexiglass that you shape it in your desired shape. You can check Peter Decker's website, it's a wealth of information, and you can check all dimensions and stuff like that. And I think this should explain this part. So let me double check how it ended up. Yeah, looks good to me. So that would be a second feather on the arrow, and I think I did nicely. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, like I said, you can always use two of these, put the paper clips, it's gonna be easier to place it. I'll try that later, and let's see what happens. So for now, that would be it. Please click the like button, subscribe, comment something. There's no point for me to making these videos if nobody's watching them. So that being said, have a good one for the next time. Bye.